Sorry about that. Looks like I broke it. Give it one more try here. Yeah, I think it sees it. Calculator is not open. Unity. Good. Done. Okay. We're looking at Unity. Okay. Now, steady Unity. Yeah, it doesn't like that too much. I think I'm gonna break it again if I fuss with it too much. Whatever. It's not a big deal. This works too. I'll have it. It's watching the server now. Hi, kitty. Oh, and I'm getting beat up. And yeah, I can't fight these guys at this level. We'll just run away for a second here. I was just going to change the time to nighttime so it's easy to see the sparkles. Let's see if we can just spot one running around here. You're not going to sit on me, kitty? What's the matter? Shouldn't be too hard to find. Sparkly green tree. I think we lost our baddies. Okay, so I'm going to change it to nighttime. And I see something sparkling over here. Well, and who said orange trees don't work? Control F to auto harvest, Shift F for more options. Give me the oranges. That worked. Didn't update automatically. That's a bummer. Someone said Shift F command to harvest essence. No, that's not it. Didn't somebody say harvesting orange citrus trees is no longer possible with Control plus E strictly? Control E. What does that mean? Control E. You mean Control F? That would chop it down. I'm not sure what they're talking about there, I'm afraid. That looks like a stalk or something, but maybe there's a tree behind it there. That's a pig. And there's a bad guy. And this is a rare tree. Alright, so we're trying to shift... Oh, and I got a spider. Harvest essence. Okay, I'm gonna die. Let's run due west. And I got another spider on me. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Fighting it. It's not animating. Multiplayer is just a little silly. Okay, let's go back east. Don't I have like some better stuff? Like, what do I not have my skills? I think I made this guy so that I could And that'll help. Let's get some better heal too. I did put 30 points into that. Whatever. 4. There we go. Okay. I had put my sword on too. So, I probably haven't spent my attributes. It was this tree, wasn't it? Shift F, harvest essence. Yep, that's not doing anything. And ye old server isn't saying anything. So let's leave here. Let's save the server. And let's take a look at that code. It's pretty cold in here. Let's see. Player crafting. Sorry, player harvesting. Harvest essence. Ray origin, ray direction, ray out, hit 15, resource mask if distance from the player is less than 3, grab the harvestable object. If it's not null, go ahead and do the harvest essence. What about the tree collider? We got all kinds of stuff open here. Audio. Tree collider. Essence of wood. Should be marked properly. Can be rare, can be lucky. Chunk save file attempt detected. That's nice. If hit or essence is not equals null, let's at least do a debug log here. I'll just say harvest essence. And it all looks fine. Player harvesting is what actually calls it. Let's do a bit, this ray stuff here is not correct. Yeah, that's going to be our problem. We're going to want to take ray dot origin equals global methods dot convert world position to position, and that's going to be our old ray origin, because this the client side can do the world shift for floating point issues, but the server doesn't do that. So it's going to be doing the ray cast in a different position, and that should fix that. Hi kitties. What you doing? Ohayou gozaimasu. What are you doing? Start the server up. Start the client starting. Take a sip of coffee. Thank you, Evil Waffles. Certainly makes my job more exciting. I bet you can't hear it, but garbage truck is here. They play music. So we're going to do Shift F, harvest essence. Nope, still didn't work. Calling HE, Command HE, ray origin equals convert. I got that backwards. Convert position to, yeah, convert position to world position is what we were looking for. So let's try that once more. What's the matter, kitties? Be nice to each other. Yeah. You're alright. You trying to go sit over there or something? Start the server up once more. I might put my beanie back on, actually. It's pretty cold. Sun is out. It should warm up. But it hasn't warmed up yet. I look kind of funny in my beanie. Uh-oh. There it is. Shift F, harvest essence. Okay, we got it that time. So, I'm going to shut down the server without saving. And interestingly, I noticed that it actually does save the client when I leave the editor. It has enough frame space to actually do that. It doesn't save the world. It disconnects the player first, though, automatically triggering a save, which is just for testing purposes. Is not really what I want. The tree's going to still be there, and he's going to have the essence anyway, but whatever. That was on Bitbucket, I believe. Fixed in 0.7.0. I believe we're on 19. Right now. Item template interface, vertical tower. Objects should not respawn. This is a common one. Windows single player. Instead of those trees, there should be 4 townhouses. The storehouse is still there, but sign went missing. There's no way to interact with storehouse. Cannot get to my resources. Before the foundation extends terraforming and raise the ground level by several meters. Well, that's single player, he's saying. We're going to have to do a bit of that to try and reproduce it. Let's look at some of these other first. None of these are super makes the game unplayable, but I think today's a good day to look at some bugs. how to try and duplicate that though. I mean, procedural area spawning is what would generate those. For example, the monoliths. Monoliths are a... Thought I already closed all this stuff, guess not. They're under prefabs. They are a procedural prefab encounter monolith, and they have a size of 10, which means that nothing should be allowed to spawn within 10 meters of them. It's simply going to go through there. They're allowed to spawn in grass, badlands, mountain, swamp, basically everywhere. Meow. What's the matter? It's going to go through. It's going to try to find a place to spawn. It's going to add that spawn location. And then any other attempts to find a location are going to loop against all of the currently used locations, and make sure that they are outside of both of their ranges. If distance is less than the one that's trying to plant or the one that it's trying to check against, returns false. The only other really way that that could possibly happen, I can imagine, is if the obelisk or the monolith itself called start a bunch of times for some reason. Which is where it spawns the bad guys. It's actually using a random. That's interesting. Not a big deal. If this was called a bunch of times for some reason, we could expect multiple monsters coming out, but this is called in the start. Nobody specifically calls it. It just happens when it comes on the first time. So certainly wouldn't expect maybe I can go to cat view. Nah. I just don't want to break this again. Maybe it'll work now. No, it's just giving me, it's being weird. How about we do a whole new window capture. So add new source. Yeah, this is what we want. We just want it to be all the way down at the bottom. Get rid of that one. Okay, that's working. So, I'm gonna make it daytime again. And really the only way to check this is to look around. wonder if I want to look around myself. So I'm gonna turn my speed hacks on. And let's see, there's some guys over here. That's 3, which is fine, that's expected. That's 3. Let's bring the map up. And there should be another one over here. That guy's got 3. This guy's got none. A bunch more of them over here. And I don't want to do this for 20 minutes. That one's got 3. That one's got 3. Let's say we run far enough to initiate a world shift. There should be a nice string of them. There's 3 or 4. There's 2. There's 2. There's 2. Excuse me. Really shouldn't be possible. There's 3. There's 2. Outpaced the world generation. I'm not seeing any. So, like I say, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time just running around looking for this, because it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and I wouldn't expect it to happen. I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'm going to make an issue for this person. Spawns multiplying on top of one another. From a player. Can anyone else confirm? We'll say minor. bug. Don't actually know. Gonna leave that open and gonna leave that open as well. Not sure. I'm just gonna leave that alone because it shouldn't be a thing. After restarting games, okay, so this is kind of like this guy, and this has been bothering people. Let's just go straight to the code first of all. Well, actually, I was going to look at grass first. So, let's say I'm looking to start up a base here. Oh, come on. And I want to set up some clear flat ground. I'm going to switch to flatten height, spacebar to flatten, and am I flattening? Oh, that's the lock. F to flatten, that's right. F. Area is obstructed, there's a mushroom right there. Give me that mushroom. There's 2 mushrooms there, okay. I'm going to stand above this a bit. And once again, height is still locked, so I'm going to flatten. And yeah, you can see the grass is not doing what it's supposed to do here. The grass is supposed to update. When that goes off, I'm going to save and return to the main menu. Which bug is that? The duplicating stuff? Really? Multiplayer windows. Okay, so after I reload the Grassworks, I've seen that. It's been like a couple months since I've seen that, but yeah, they're like 15 golems around a single thing. I harvested that mushroom just a second ago, and he came back. What's up with that? The grass did respawn properly. It didn't do it in runtime, though. That mushroom is concerning. Let's see. So I didn't save. I quit. Gonna leave that alone for now. Can turn these off. Did I leave something on there? I forget. I think I did. Maybe not. Harvest essence. Player harvesting. Calling. Got those good. Harvestable object. Set up. This is kind of the main stuff we're gonna be looking at here. We are giving the name and past, so that's good. Game object name past. Let's do plus game object name itself, so I can see if that mushroom shows up. Mushroom didn't show up. Okay, and then procedural grass. Yeah, I'm gonna put my beanie on. It's cold. putting something on your head does make a big difference. Got a neck warmer too if things get even worse, but we're not at that level yet. So we have areas to update, which I believe we have a method that we call to say update world area. This has no references. That's a bummer. Is there a birdie out there? Bite him. This should be called from... Is it player terraforming? I think it's just the terraforming UI. But let's look. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Terraforming UI. Now, the terraform stuff actually happens down at the bottom here. Update layer. This is all refresh. Scan for obstructions. Scan area, recenter, face mode, lock. The actual terraforming is down here. Terraform point, terraform face. PT, procedural terrain, right. So at the end of these, they're supposed to be calling the grass manager update world area. I turned that off somewhere when I thought it wasn't working. I believe it works fine though. How would monoliths spawn one on top of another? I wonder if like areas overlap. No, there should already be prevented. So here we got this mushroom again. He's not... Excuse me. He's not sending out any debugs, so he doesn't think he's dead. Well, first of all, I'm gonna eat him again. And we'll have to put in some debugs to watch that. But I'm gonna raise this here, and grass ain't coming with it. As we were hoping for. I'm gonna back away from the mushrooms again just a little bit and save. Adding. This is gonna be our grass manager, isn't it? Adding area to update. Yeah, that must be the same thing. That doesn't make sense though. Must be something wrong with my code if it's doing that. We'll have to look at it again. Let's see if we can figure out grass first. Update world area. Ah. Yeah, I don't have my heater on. I mean, I've got my normal heater. I don't have my real heater on because it's not that cold, and it's only 9 in the morning. The sun's coming up. It'll warm up good here in another hour. So this guy has been added. Question is, we're not doing a force update. I finished improving that. We can get rid of that. If we're running the loop and we have an area to update, that should be our first step. Grab it, figure out where it is. Update area not found, perhaps. In which case, we want to at least remove that so it doesn't get stuck on this forever. But that would still be a problem. Current areas, add spawn grass. So what are you doing here? You're not going to remove. You're going to add. Current areas, add spawn grass. We're not spawning though here, we're updating. Don't we have some kind of an update method? Spawn grass, remove grass, force update, update world area, destroy the old one, generate a new. We should be doing this. I just turned this whole thing off for some reason. Somewhere down the line. Let's spin it back up again, see what it does. If procedural error equals null, otherwise, needs updating equals true, that's different. Let's do update area. Didn't we just have a, what did we call that? Update world areas. Just gonna grab the first one. It's gonna look for the proper one. It's gonna destroy, remove, destroy, generate a new. That all looks nice. Update world areas. I think we can just call. None of you. Update world areas. Update to area.count equals 0. Update world areas, which we'll call this guy. If we're in batch mode, if we're in fake batch mode, if we're in client world encounter, we'll return, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to grab the first one. If we can't find it, we need to just move on so we don't get stuck here. Areas to update. Remove. Areas to update dot remove at 0. So we don't get a loop going. Once again, we've got the same thing here. We already did it here though. Current remove, remove. So yeah, we don't need this one. Alright, let's try that. Update that grass in real time. And also our harvestable object, let's see. We're harvesting a mushroom. Reward is 0. Blah, blah, blah. Ward harvest, special reward, closing bonus. It's not a gem. It is an animal. We do want to update stats. If remaining equals 0, we're not removing marker. Report death. That's multiplayer. Update stats should work though. New stats. Encounter resource stats 3D. Add stats. Let's do add resource stats. Let's say stats found, stats not found, plus let's do resource stat holder dot remaining. Resource stats dot remaining plus resource stat holder. Resource stats dot time harvested. I think we want to watch that. Stats not found, remaining, and then time harvested. I believe that number is in game hours. This way we can double check why stuff's respawning properly. This is just going to be RSH, and I don't like that I spelled renaming wrong. Wait, remaining. There we go. Yeah. What's up, Art? 61 degrees, nice. We got down to 28, 27 last night. Right now, looking at 1 degrees right now. So 34 degrees, something like that. Feeling fine. I'm feeling good, actually. It's just my throat's being weird. Cataract surgery. Oof. Makes me tingle. I'd hate to have somebody touching my eyes. My father and sister both got the LASIK done. That creeps me out. Luckily, my vision is pretty good. These are not prescription. These are just blue light cutting glasses. And I wear glasses when I drive. I don't really have to, but it's just better if I do. Let's look at grass here first. Area is obstructed. Alright. Grass area is null. It's not finding the area it wants to. Interesting. So when we call this guy new area, update world area, current X, current Z. Are you sure you know what you're talking about there, sir? I'm not sure that I believe you. Is that already... Yeah, adding X minus whatnot. Yeah. I'll probably have eye problems when I'm older too, looking at screens all day. Hopefully they'll have nanobots or something that can do it for me by then. This is the grass. No, I just wanted to look at where I am, which is... That's correct. But yeah, that's not... That's just my position in meters. That's not at all correct for the type of areas that we're talking about. A grass area is going to be something more like this. Into terrain, xx equals... And this is just world X. Does this get, how are we managing this number? Current X. This is really just... current step divided by multi. So yeah, this is just our local meter. Player position basically. And we are not converting this anywhere. I don't see convert being used. Convert position is only being used here, so we can't... Well, I guess, okay, so we know that we're bringing in update world area. Let's just mark it down as brings in a what's the word that I want? Unadjusted position in meters, which means that we want to first figure out the terrain. So I don't want to call, I want to call this, let's just call it X and Z for now, forever actually. And we're going to do, this is more like terrain X equals X floored by 1024. That's a Z. And then the area is what are these silly equations? I might sneeze again. Terrain X times 8, that's right. We want to do, though, terrain xc dot x, no, yeah, divided by 128, there we go. And let's floor that as well. What's going on here is a grass patch is 128 meters within a 1024 meter terrain. So that means that there's 8 of them per terrain. So first I'm figuring out what terrain it is we're talking about here. And in order to do that, I actually need to first... adjusted positions brings in unadjusted. So we need to go... We actually need to do a little more work than that, actually. first let's make a vector 3. This is going to be the position equals new vector 3 of x, 0, and z. And then we're going to use our, well, let's say vector 3 world position equals global methods dot convert position to world position. And this will give us, in case we're out at 50 kilometers, and this one's saying, oh, it's only 1,000 meters out. This will convert it to the actual position that it's at. Hey, Parda, what are you doing? Come and see me. Hey. So then, you're toasty. You've been sitting in the window, huh? Using that, we can now find world position dot x and world position dot z, and then our local area is going to be that floored by 128 minus say we've determined that we're out at x terrain x 100. That means we've got 800 areas, and then this one will floor by only 128, so it'll tell us if we're at the local area 0, 1, 2, 3 or what, based on the offset of those terrains. So this one is also math function floor to int terrain xz dot y, even though that's a z because the int2 is just an xy value the way I wrote it. So now local area xc, you can try to find that. If it doesn't do all of that, I think that was only our main problem, because it was just looking for a really weird area there. We'll give it a try. I get a coffee mug out of the kitchen, and it's partially frozen. And I pour hot coffee in it. And the coffee is cold in like 10 minutes, I swear. I need to get like a cup warmer or something. Okay, I'm going to raise area is null. Not actually frozen, but you know, they're like really cold to the touch. Sitting in my kitchen with its single pane windows, -2 overnight. -56y70, is that correct? What have we missed? Let's look at the current grasp managers. These are 59 minus 79, so yeah, we're not calculating that properly at all, are we? And wasn't it sending us numbers like 49 something something? Update world area. let's do x, need the to string plus z. And that was sending in, basically it was the player position, wasn't it? Yeah. -4 and 64. And we're now adjusting that for whatever tiered world shift distance I'm at. Oh, step on the keyboard, thank you. So it's definitely adjusting, but these numbers are clearly quite different. Let's go. I'm gonna put down a Solace here just so we can come back and test this area. I don't know where I am. Don't know if I have any light. Doesn't look like I do. I'm gonna have to cheat. Gonna build a Solace here. And I shouldn't have done that. There's a billion of them. 117. Let's say terraform. Uh-oh, did I mess that up? How come it didn't let me type that? Terraform test. What messed that up? F? F messed it up. That's not good. Terraform test. Well, now I got another thing I gotta fix. F closes Solace rename interface. I don't need to save that. Bad habit. Good habit. Good habit. Control S. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the start and try the same thing. Good, and it shifted me there. So let's just grab some random grass and updating 00000. See, that's actually working. Let's go at least 128 meters. We're running west, so this should be positive. And still at 0, huh? Go a little further. Still at 0. Really? I thought they were only 100. Oh, areas are 128 meters. Are grass bigger? No, they're 128. Which one are we looking at here? We're still at 0. LAX 0000. No, we're not at 0. Where are these numbers coming from? What's going on here? Update world areas, local area, terrain X, local area, area to update, area X, area Y, where Z was Y, was a procedural grass. Terrain X, that makes sense. Local area equals area X minus. Terrain X times 8. Guess, yeah, I don't actually want to add the local area to this at all, do I? I want to add the world area. So we don't need this stuff. Really all we're trying to do here is int to area x equals world position.x divided by 128. We're not yet concerned with local areas. So this is the world area xz. And then during the actual update methods, the world numbers get converted into finding a terrain and finding its local specific patch of grass. Probably at the start. No, I didn't save. We're still at the Solace I made. Good. Where was that patch? Here's this patch I was working on. Okay, not working. Area is null. World area 480,6496. I still did some bad math there, didn't I? World X? Oh, world Y. That's that. That's not correct. World position dot z, first of all, divided by 128. I think minus 480 is probably correct there, though. Anyway, one more try. X and Z, and you want an F too, my friend. You know, it's slightly important. Very unlikely that it would matter, but it could. If you don't add an F there, actually all that it would do it would floor it. It would treat this as an integer, so you'd be dividing as an integer, and it would automatically floor the number to an integer. And one more time. 17th time is the charm. There we go. We are 12 kilometers out and the grass is updating properly. Let's switch to flatten mode. Lock flatten height and flatten some space out, and it still works. As long as I'm not in the way, or something else isn't in the way, like that stock, etc. Cool. Alright. Let's write that down. Did we change anything else? Didn't we change something? What did we change? That's not a bad idea. My legs are so long. I'd have to really move my desk away from the wall to do that. But that's kind of interesting. I've got a barbell here. It's just 3 kilos, but I used to do this a lot while I was waiting for the game to patch or build or something like that. I'd do this for 15 seconds 100 times a day. I haven't been doing that lately. I got an elliptical and I rearranged my room a bit so that I can, it's out in the middle. I did 15 minutes on it the other day, and I'm going to do 15 on it today. I'm drinking a whole huge, well, it's not huge, but big thing, a yasai, or a vegetable juice for potassium intake. I'm going to a chiropractor twice a week, trying all sorts of stuff, trying to fix my throat. I'm on drugs, yada yada. If nothing works, though, I might have to get some kind of a CT scan or something, hopefully not. Everybody just says, "Oh, you look great. What's the problem?" Harvestable object. What did we mess with? I forget. Player building, grass manager, resource data holder, teleporter, UI. What is all this? This is stuff I did yesterday. We did something this morning that I fixed. What did I fix? The essence. Fixed essence harvesting in multiplayer. Okay. And now we fixed grass not updating immediately while terraforming. So we can get rid of that. Don't need to save. After restarting the game, all plants see, and we were looking at this mushroom here. Keeps coming back. Mushroom. Stats found, remaining 1, time harvest 0. Stats found, remaining 1, time harvested 0. That's totally incorrect. Is that one of my cats sleeping making that noise, or what? Man, them was fighting words, but it's just one of my cats dreaming. Sometimes a stray cat walks by and they get riled up. And they've actually hurt each other because of that. I've got 3 boys. They've gotten into fights. If like a girl in heat walks by outside and they all get fussy. But that was just Pee-Pee dreaming, making funny noises. $250 for a little peddler. That sounds like a little much. Int 2 area X. Grass is good. Grass is fine. Terraform UI. Wait, I want to do the get rid of those debugs. We can get back to it right here. Don't want you guys anymore. This was all incorrect. That is working as intended. What is that? Just leave it there. There's a debug. No. Procedural grass, fine. So new stats. Day count. It is adding that, but when we get here, and if it says stats found, why aren't you replacing the stats if the stats are found? Add resource stats. Resource stat holder, if it's X and it's Z, stats found, put it in there. It's just horrible. Why was that commented out? That's totally horrible. That will cause all kinds of problems. Who did that? Why are you doing this to me? That explains both of those problems. I didn't just comment that out, right? Why is that has been like that for a long time? That's so weird. Don't know why that was like that. Basically, all of the harvestable objects store the hour that they were harvested. And then when they try to respawn, they double check to see what the respawn timer is, which is in hours. And then they add that to their harvested time. And only if the current time is above that are they supposed to respawn. Time harvested 0. Stats found. So yeah, what's going on here? Stats found, but you're putting in the new ones. Stats found, remaining, time harvested. Let's go ahead and do, why do I have Unity Engine here? Whatever. Let's say old stats, remaining, well that's what these are. Old stats found, new stats, and this is going to be stats. I'm going to not save here once more and recompile. Grab those mushrooms, and we would expect them to overwrite the stat holder there with the current time, and I'm playing multiplayer worlds, so we're on like day 3000, whatever 3000 times 24 is, 70 something thousand. Look at me try and pretend like I can do basic math in my head. Remaining new stats, remaining 1, time harvested 0. Time harvested 0. It's just not acceptable. New stats. The old stats I understand because it wasn't doing that properly. The new stats that we are feeding it, you're coming from harvestable object 328, which is what we were looking at. The new stats we are creating using, this is the death day, remaining rarity resource type death day times respawn, which is going to get us the day count plus the daytime divided by 24. Daytime, yeah, that's correct. And it's a float. That's acceptable. Would have preferred an int, but whatever. Times respawn. Sending it to the chunk manager, sends it to the terrain. And I'm looking at time harvested. Okay, so that is the problem. Show me that. Yeah. This is not time harvested. This is times harvested. I have confused myself with that. Apparently, we are supposed to be looking at death day. So things, but still, I mean, the fact that this was commented out was a huge problem. But let's recompile once more because we were looking at the wrong variable there. Times harvested is used to roll for a new rarity every time a resource respawns that's capable of becoming rare, like a tree. If you harvest a legendary tree and you wait a week, it's not necessarily going to respawn as a legendary tree. In fact, it's extremely unlikely that it will. But if you chop a whole forest down, you wait a week, assuming you haven't messed with the respawn settings, and you let the whole forest respawn, all of those will roll a new number instead of the old number. So you might get a legendary tree where before there was none. Okay, so now we're sending in Death Day. The old stats did have a Death Day of 3. Okay, so it's just the day count that we're doing in a float. That's fine. New stats remaining. Death Day 3950.75. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to save. And basically it just was not, it wasn't saving the new stats. So if it had been saved once, and then it respawned, because the respawn timer had passed, and then you said, hey, don't respawn, you chopped it down, it wouldn't update those numbers, and it would just keep respawning every time you relogged in. I can see how that would do that. The other thing is, people posting pictures of stuff respawning in buildings. That really shouldn't be a thing either. We'll double check that. What happened here? Disconnected from server. Oh, I pushed the wrong one. That was the client. I didn't change that. I just added the comma there so I could see what it was doing. When a resource spawns and the loaded stats are 0 and it figures out it is time for a respawn based on that number, first thing it does is do a respawn check, which is a collider, overlap sphere, looking for either a building, a town, or a world encounter. Is that enough? Buildings, towns, world encounters, ignoring triggers. Anything within a 10-foot radius should stop it. If collider.gameObject does not equal gameObject. Yeah, that's more or less true. Some of these have their colliders on children, I believe. I want to look at that a little closer, but our mushroom is still back though. Interesting. Mushroom keeps coming back. You, sir. What's the deal with you? Harvestable vegetable. Can I look at your stats? No. Do you even store your stats? Harvestable object grabs the stats when these aren't stored on him though. Respawn check passed. Didn't even call, I don't think. Didn't even bother to check. Get world encounter. We're not in a world encounter. Loaded stats. Get resource stats. Local XYZ. Times respawn. Blah blah blah. Floated stats equals 0. Better check harvestable vegetable. Make sure I'm not overwriting something. Nope. Nothing in there. So, what are you doing here? Debug log. Let's say if resource is equal to mushroom, just so we don't have everything spamming debugs at us. Mushroom remaining equals 0. Looks like it's just not even getting to that point. However, when we harvest object, ward harvests, if it's not an animal, update stats. I mean, we can see this calling here. This is debugging properly. Add resource stats. Not 3D, but 2D. Old stats, new stats, rsh.resource stats equals stats, stats not found. We are getting this though. The new stats remaining and death day are getting added as expected. But he's still respawning. I had a good salad yesterday. Was it yesterday? What did I eat for lunch yesterday? No, I think I had a pizza for lunch yesterday. I had a salad the day before. Very tasty. It's from this Thai restaurant. Really fresh veggies. Mushroom Sir is still here. He is going to... Old stats were found with remaining of 0. New stats applied. So he's not picking up his own stats somehow. So there's something in here that's vegetables are not doing their checks or something. What is going on? Virtual void start. Loaded stats. Get resource stats. It should all be fine. Get resource stats 3D. I just clicked on that wrong was all right. If world, yeah. Else loaded stats equal, If world encounter manager does not equal null, world encounter manager get resource stats 3D. What is going on? World encounter manager get resource stats. No, you're doing it wrong. Okay, see, he knows to go 3D. You, sir, are not 3D. Get world encounter resource stats. If world encounter does not equal null, else means world encounter equals null. We want you to get world encounter, no. We want you to get resource stats. What all do you want? Section X. I don't need the Y. Who wrote this stuff? Come on. Clan meeting. I haven't had a guild meeting in probably over a decade. I used to be a competitive Tribes player. Man, that game was weird and fun. Used to be a competitive Counter-Strike player. There you have it. Mushroom did not respawn because he figured... Oh, but this guy did. Somebody harvested a spirit tea out here like 2 years ago. Game time. That's interesting. Respawn check passed on that guy. And an ore. So somebody has actually walked around out here before. That's pretty amazing. There was a Solace nearby somewhere that I came from. Not that one that I just made. Probably up there where I died a bunch of times. And good lord, there's a lot of spider nests. I'm going to start adding spider bosses to those. Ladies beware. That just explains a whole bunch of problems, though. Stuff respawning in buildings. Yeah, I'm just going to close those. And if it's still a problem for anybody, they can reopen them. 4 townhouses. I don't know what this means. Can I get to my resources before I leave the foundation? I guess I'm determined the ground level by several meters. Trees and stuff should stop doing that in 0.7.0.19. We'll look into buildings. What do you mean by storehouse? Not storehouse, what do you say? Townhouse. 4 townhouses. Gatherers, etc. And there might have been a whole another. Let's do search by bug. Type. Spawns multiplying on top of one another. That's way back there. He didn't respond to that, did he? Nope. Spawn rate, essence of water too low. I meant to look at this too. Did I open that? I didn't. We'll look at that. Harvesters harvest more multiplication of enemies after using bed for rest. Interesting. Do want to look at that. Biome info on screen is not the same as biome info on town interface. Going into cave, maybe harmless exception. Rare resource on map, not always present in world. Mouse looks snapping, exception after killing goat. Not able to reproduce this. That's expected. Edge of the world, fog, issues recorded. Should be better. Left it open anyway. Inventory reorganizes itself randomly. Storehouse inventory reorganizes itself randomly. What are you talking about? Duplicate NPCs. Whole bunch of stuff. New storehouse has inventory space of old. That's expected, honestly. Building base, MP live, no beta. No biome info on Solace info. Tutorial can be completed. Example, bug report. That's me. Go ahead and delete that. Instead of more, delete. It's just in the way. Resource respawn. I think this is what I was looking for. Resource once gathered will display again after the map update. Zone out. Log out gradually. The resource is immediately available, but you cannot harvest it. This may be due to 60 resource respawn time. No, completed. Will display again after the map updates, so not by the player log out, and then back in. Graphically, the resource is immediately available, but you cannot harvest it. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'm looking for resources respawn. Here we go. Fixed in 0.7.0.19. That was silly. Well, so building that produces, that's, yeah, you know. Would like to look at that. Probably not going to get to it today. Planters destroyed upon pickup. Can't destroy planted crops. Look at that. Resource spawning inside buildings. Trees and other resources will respawn inside of player constructed objects. That means that they're not doing the respawn check because their remaining wasn't even loading as 0. I'm going to say that that should be fixed in 0.7.0.19. And once again, if it's not, we can reopen the issue. Okay, we got a whole bunch of tabs open now. Let's see if we can organize these tabs a little, maybe. Multiplication of enemies, biome info screen, not the same as I kind of know what's going on there, and I think that's a quick fix. Getting into cave, maybe harmless exception. Yeah, I've seen that. Storehouse reorganizes itself. Items in storehouse are not necessarily organized in the proper order by tier. Sometimes the item order rearranges when items are removed. Huh. We shall look at that. Duplicate NPCs. Had this happen again with the carpenter. This is something I don't quite know. Yeah, I can't really look into that. It's only been one report. Somehow I opened a second tab of that. Planners destroyed. Do want to look at that quickly. Essence of water, that's probably first. This is kind of last. What else do we got? Spawns multiplying on top of each other. Vertical will go over here. Item template interface, that's actually last. Storehouse, going into cave, multiplication, planner destroyed. Alright. Just got a few things to do. But I'm going to take a quick 10-minute break. Sun is starting to come up. Cats are just barely not on the cat cam, sticking their ears out. So I'll be back in just 5-10 minutes. Do a little stretch, go to the bathroom, that kind of thing. beanie hair. Gotta love it. Is starting to warm up. Got a little sunshine coming in. You want to sit on my lap, kitty? Maybe? Just teasing me? Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Why don't you sit on my lap? There you go. Yeah, you're a warm kitty. I do want to make sure that I turn off these debugs that we turned on so that they do not spam the console. What else did we have? That looks good for this guy. I think I added some up here too. Turn these guys off. And that was some silly problems right there, let me tell you. It just does what you tell it to do, though. It's always your fault, unfortunately. Most of the time. So, essence of water. I'm pretty sure that there's actually nothing spawning essence of water right now. Though I hate to tell the truth. Just kidding, I tell the truth all the time. Willingly, very happy to. But I do believe that is what is going on. If we look at resources, we've got stock, globe of water, essence of plant. Now the question is, and people are going to get mad at me for saying this out loud, who wants an essence of water? Is that for the Tannin font? I don't think it's used in any enchants. Let us see who uses it. Essence of water. Water font. Oh, that's for the Redding vat, isn't it? Where did those used to drop? Obviously, Frank is looking for them on stocks. So I messed that up when I upgraded all of the resources to this new system. Excuse me while I sneeze again. Maybe not. Went away. Essence of plant and essence of plant, but a rare reward. Let's open up harvesting once more. Harvestable objects. When they roll, here we go, calculate special rewards. Can be lucky. Is that where that's supposed to be? That's not where that's supposed to be. Yeah, that's correct. Not special rewards. Harvest object. If reward is greater than 0, we're looking at completion rewards. If remaining, completion rewards dot count. Right? These are completion rewards. No, that's the completion reward. Common rewards are different. Well, let's just go look and make sure. Who all is looking at these? Find all references. Only special rewards is looking for that. Okay. Don't think that's how I was intending for that to be. If can be lucky. Stocks can be lucky, but that's not what these are supposed to be. Okay, let's add on to this a little bit. Calculate special rewards. First of all, that's a stupid name. What does that mean? Calculate luck rewards. And this is what we're doing here. Lucky resource reward. Right. Who's accessing award rewards legendary? See, this is different. These should not be in the same method. So let's calculate luck rewards. Let's go ahead and move you just above lucky resource reward, and then we're going to add another one called calculate rare rewards. In this case, we don't care about luck. That's not what this is about. It's not about double reward chance. As you can see, none of that is being used here. That's what all of this stuff is for. Yeah, up until here. So, reversely, these guys do not belong here. And they're making use of legendaries, legendary rewards. They're not making use of amount. Resource amount is getting used there though. Amount minus legendaries, legendaries. Right, so these guys are all okay to delete, right? Yeah. So this is the luck-based reward, which means when you're harvesting an ore, you've got a chance of just getting a fancy lucky piece of uncommon ore or whatever. That's its own self-contained system now, as it should have been from the get-go. And now, rare, I'm not using you, I don't think, right? Rare rewards, yeah, this is luck rewards. That's, what do we call these? Let's say, calculate rare rewards. Yeah, I guess that works. That's what these guys are. Whether lucky or not, they have a chance of dropping some other things here. So, we've got Essence of Plant as an uncommon reward for stocks currently. And that's going to be a 1 in 100 chance. And that's going to roll. Or we're actually not calling that yet, are we? Where was our lucky roll? Try for special chances. That's only if you can be lucky. Let's do calculate rare rewards. And we need the amount, which is called reward, and we're passing in the client that's doing the harvesting. reward being the number that's being currently harvested, so it's making a roll per. So 1 in 20 means, since a stock is generally 20 to 30, that means about 1 in 4 stocks is going to end up giving you an uncommon reward. If I up it to rare, that's 1 in 250, which means 4 times 2 is 8, so it's about 10. 1 in 10 is going to get you, I like that better. You don't need a lot of essences, and if you do want an essence there, you can get it there. And they're not necessarily essence. That didn't work. That's not a searchable enum. Let's fix that. Rare rewards. What is this? A harvestable reward chance. Searchable enum. It is a searchable enum. But it's not doing it. Does that not work in 2019? Uh-oh. I might need to upgrade that, because that is super useful. Written by Ryan Whipple, I believe his name is. Robo Ryantron. Unity Editor Junkie. I think that's someone else. 2 years ago. Let me peek at the issues here. Option to be clickable. I don't. How come this isn't working? I'm pretty sure I've used this recently though. Harvestable reward chance. Searchable enum. Harvestable object. This is a list. Let's look at just straight up. This guy. No, he's not searchable either. Oh, I'm in debug mode. That's probably breaking it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Essence, because this is super useful. Essence of water. There we go. We will use your tier, but not your rarity. Ryan, I believe his last name is Whipple, but that might be someone I went to school with. Ryan Hipple. There we go. Ryan Hipple, Unity talk. This year, Unite Austin 2017 game architecture with scriptable objects. If you are a Unity game developer, you should definitely check out this video. Cool dude and great video. I've watched this like 3 times. Highly recommended. It's really hard to get people to talk in depth about game architecture. And I've been thinking about maybe making some short videos on Unity. There's certainly a need for better tutorials. There's a lot of not so good ones out there. Anyway, let's do that, and we should probably have some more of these somewhere else. For example, maybe on our tree colliders, which I still have over here for some reason. How about if the cacti large has... Yeah, these guys can't be rare, can't be lucky. But let's give them, just for fun, Essence of water, rare reward using the tier. Not the small ones, just the big ones. That sounds highly acceptable. We'll mark that as resolved. Fixed in 0.7.0.19. Stocks will now give 1 per 250. Large cacti likewise will now give 1 per 250. And that's 250 stock timber, not 250 nodes. And we'll definitely be looking to add other sources with some water elementals or something of that nature soon. Someone at the door. I'll be right back. Package for my wife, who is still asleep somehow. She's probably on her phone. So, that one's good. Now, this is a bit understandable. Ocean biome, though. That doesn't make sense. I can understand that happening here. But still, let's fix how that works. Originally, when I set this up, well, let's look at both of those. So, leaning forward again to try and get into the mic, even though I don't need to. I know it picks up my voice just fine. And I wonder if it's got this ring inside of it. I don't know if I'm supposed to be speaking into the ring or if that's trying to pick up left and right. I don't know how it works, but whatever. I need to get a better mic, really. I want to get one of those ones that you can, like, just point at yourself. This thing's kind of annoying. But it was cheap. Hard to complain. So we built the UI. What did I call that? Biome. Nope. Is it just the main UI? I hope not. Main UI. Overlay. What did I call it? I probably did just stick it in here, didn't I? Biome. Nope, it's not the main UI. I forget where that is. Obelisk, quest, player radial, recipe refining, settings, skills, Solace, sprite, start, stats, storage, teleporter, terraforming, tooltips, trainers, transmogrified, travel, initial loading, hotbar, fishing, facility, enchanting, dialogue, crafting, container, console, company, chat, buff. Where is that? So really not here. Compass, placement helper, drag and drop variables, main, hide inspector, inventory, crafting, building, terraforming. Embarrassing, but man, it's a lot of code to remember. Give me a break. Oh, it's just under player environment, isn't it? Here we go, biome text panel. So this dude is just flat up get procedural terrain. This is an update. That's a bit unfortunate. You're doing get procedural. Oh yeah, well I'm only doing it every 15 frames. It's not so bad. I mean, they're not. Yeah, there's not bad tutorials. It's just they really just skim the surface of something. Like, hey, let's do this real quick, and then pap pap pap, and then they do it, and then it's done. But game development's really involved. You know, there's lots of different things that you really should think about before you even get started with coding. And I'd be fine doing coding tutorials as well, but I think there's a real lack of people talking about what kind of games, you know, what does it take to make different kinds of games? What are the different roles within game development? What, sort of scope, money, business, and then game architecture, which is script structure, scene structure, that sort of like interconnectivity. People really don't talk about that kind of stuff. That's why I mentioned that other video by Ryan Hipple about game architecture, because it's a really good presentation about game architecture, which you really don't find on the internet, unfortunately. Maybe that'll be a Monday night thing I'll do once a week or something. Oh, go ahead and just knock that onto the floor there. That's cool. What are you doing? But anyway, once every 15 frames. Let's just, let's up that to 60. We're gonna grab the terrain and we're gonna get the biome and we're gonna get it right at the position that we're talking about. See, so that's how the new button works that we made. It just looks exactly where you are. Now the town UI does it differently. Let's just search for biome. Let's see. If it's null or ocean, it tries to look. See, it does this global method, get biome. And honestly, we should go ahead and use this method here. We don't need to do all of that. We really just need this. What the old method is doing is it's grabbing a 80, no, actually 80. 30 by 30? Yeah. Yeah. Splat position X. No, that's actually 40. I think it's 4 meters per step. So it grabs an 80 by 80 square around the Solace and then figures out the largest. But I don't actually like that. I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. Maybe we'll leave the method there, but we're gonna get rid of all of that. And instead we're gonna use the new method found right here. Like so. And I don't want it to auto format all of that for me. There we go. I spent a lot of time making sure the tombstones work. What are you talking about? Tombstone's not working? Can see half your stuff in the tombstone, but no bags. Where did you die? Are you above ground or are you in a cave? In a cave. Okay. I tested it extensively above ground. Maybe I missed something in a cave though. Let me do that because that's critical bug there if that's happening. This stuff is not as important as that. Let me just finish this up here. And let's just do straight up return that, and if all else fails, just return Solace Crafting biome dot null, which should be a great indication that things are going bad. So now that will be using the same method. Player environment should actually likewise be able to just call that and say transform position global methods dot get biome at the current position, and that will go to that like so. And I'm gonna leave these open to make sure that I double check them, but that should fix that. In the meantime, let's go die in a cave. We are already set up to start single player. おはようございます。昼やけどな。昼やけどな。わからん。行きなさい。うん。あ、このクリスマスプレゼントどうして？ダメです。2人で行きます？ What's the matter 急に？ maybe. 後で話そうな。当たり前やん。あれ ?10 時半だった。歯医者。あれ ?10 時37。やっちゃった。11時半と思ってた。あ、ちょうどよかった。違います。電話してみ。やっちゃった。どうしよう。電話してみ。寝ぼけしました。11時半と思って、あれって感じで。そう。やっちゃったのよ。恥ずかしい。恥ずかしいけど、だったら嬉しい。Wife just woke up 10:30. Thought her dentist appointment was at 11:30. Looked at the card and it was at 10:30. No. That's a important bug, if it's a bug, and that's what we're here to do, fixing bugs. If I can dodge the gators. So I got a cave. I'm out far enough that I should be able to take my armor off, and these guys can kill me just fine, I believe. I don't have any... Well, I should have higher tier stuff. Let's see, tier 2. Tier 2... No. Let's grab some of this then. (11 時) 今日？ああ。何やってんねん。わざとやろ。Let's see now. Okay, I need to cheat a little bit here. Okay. So I've got a bag. I'm gonna put my tannin inside my bag, and I'll put some mushrooms in the middle. Gonna go into the cave. Got the sun shining right in my eyes. Warning, I've seen that shown up a number of times. Reflection probe. Why does that even... Terrain Manager 34. I guess we'll go ahead and just go look at this real quick. On... Nobody even uses reflection probes. Come on. Clean up. Clean up. Destroy immediate. I mean, is that necessary? Come on. I'm pretty sure that's not necessary. I'm not using you anyway. But, you know, whatever. Just destroy. And it's actually calling a not permitted during physical exercises. Yeah. Or let's see. We could turn off. This is a void. Close. Yeah. It's fine. I believe. We'll go with that for now. Anyway, so we're in the cave, and that was maybe harmless exception here, there. We can mark that as resolved if that works fine. Oh god, we got one of these really weird caves. Oh man. Every once in a while you get something that's just crazy. Let's take a look at this. Man, that's a deep dive there. That'd be cool if it had a waterfall in it or something. Oh, this is just an unfortunate cave here for testing. I'm gonna go back to that other cave that I've used in the past. It should still be fine. Plains Mine or something it's called. Mine Plains. Yeah, this is still tier 2. They should be able to kill me. Because that was a weird cave. Okay, so I'm gonna take my armor off. So they can kill me. And this is also a very big cave. Hopefully there's a dude right here somewhere. I guess I can get down just fine. Where's a bad guy? There's a bad guy. Dodged. He doesn't do a lot of damage. You know what? I don't actually have to do that. I'm gonna kill you. Haha. I'm just gonna cheat. Up at the top here. And I'm actually going to put my armor back on before I do that, just so it doesn't drop. And I hit myself for 6,000. So I died in the cave with a bag. Mushroom debugs are still going funky. Let's go ahead and save and stop. Get a recompile for that cave entry error that I believe is harmless. Mushroom remaining equals 0. I would also like to turn off, but it's going to start recompiling right away. What's a cool view? Oh, you mean how I was looking at the cave from the side there? That you cannot do, I'm afraid. That is only accessible via the editor here. Yeah. No, I stopped Unity here and went and looked at it in the engine itself, so it's can't do that in the player. Destroy may not be called in edit mode. Now it's yelling at me about this, huh? Alright. Does want to do that. That's fine. Let's instead then... You're getting called from the terrains manager. I'm gonna just have something in update. If I even have an update, which I don't think I do. Terrains manager, let's say void update. And then let's make like a bool turn off enviro equals false. And then we can say if turn off enviro, then we'll go ahead and do all of that stuff, which is right here. Turn on surface world. True is fine. False is bad. Let's again turn on, turn on. We want to go to turn off. Client equals, here we don't worry about it. Only here do we worry about it. Turn off enviro equals true. And the reason for this is because we're calling it from a physics trigger, just as the error says. And it doesn't want us to use destroy immediate while it's within that section of the game loop. So I'm going to set a bool, and then the next update that'll get called to get turned off. So it'll only be a frame late. Shouldn't be noticeable. And then we want to set turn off enviro back to false. That should fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as resolved, fixed in 0.7.0.19. Thanks for chatting with us, Evil Waffles. Have a good night. Close that. We're working on, we haven't really tested this. Let's write that down though. Fixed harmless error when entering caves. And let's go check on our tombstone now. How did I should just go look at the code. There's obviously something different being done. Above ground versus below ground. At Mines Plains. Man, it's dark. It just bothers me. I'm going to turn it back to day. And it's dark in the cave too, but that's unavoidable. And we should have a tombstone right here now. Didn't even show the bag, huh? Let's say I grab all of you. Grabbing my stuff. And then it went away. So it didn't even attempt to put the bag in there, huh? Okay. Well, let's go look at the code. It wouldn't even let you take any of your items off of your tombstone? I didn't get that. Are you playing single player? Or are you playing multiplayer? make sure that's despawned. It has. Single player. I was just right clicking to move stuff. Let's see if I click and drag. It seems to work too. Well, let's poke at the code anyway. First thing that happens is player inventory says drop tombstone. If we're not in a world encounter, it does all of this. If we are in a world encounter, it finds the MISC parent, get facility prefab tombstone. So I probably updated some stuff here that I didn't update down here. Visitor add MISC facility, get current manager was add MISC. Currently in world encounter, that's a silly check because we're not. If not, currently in world encounter, we don't need that. We already made that check. Client player mover currently in world encounter. Add to area spawn game object, add item drop facility. So this is the important one. Tombstone, copy is new, blah blah blah, facility slots, that's all good. Chunk manager, add item drop facility. Whereas down here we're doing add MISC. Add item drop, add MISC. Okay, so we need to look at both of these. Update inventory slots. Let's go ahead and why not move it down just to be uniform. So add MISC is doing the container check. Okay. Add item drop. Add item drop. MISC data holder, add MISC. This is actually calling the same thing. MISC data holder, add MISC. So the problem must be with loading. Because we are in fact making container slots here, which was necessary for tombstones. So assuming that is correct, we want to look at the cave loading bit. Hello, kitty. What are you doing? Which I believe is cave chunk. World encounter manager cave, perhaps? Generate encounter. Hi, kitty. Who's got the MISC? There we go. Spawn MISC. Encounters as load MISCs. Cave load is different than normal load. Interesting. So furniture, like facilities, tombstone, fill in the data. This is the important bit. If it's a container, if it's null, if it's a container, container slots, fill in the data. Let's grab all of this. And now the way that caves are doing it, facilities, item drop, tombstone, fill in the data. Yep, he's not doing that properly. This is the old way of doing it. This is the new way of doing it. Facility. MISC facility data. Is that what we're doing? MFD. Okay. That should fix bags. Getting errors trying to move stuff though. Can you, you said screenshot uploaded. Where did you put that? Is that on the bug tracker? Where did you upload a screenshot to? And if you can show me the error you're getting for moving stuff, I can look at that. I believe I have fixed bags not dropping properly. We'll double test that right now. We need a transfer all button for these, don't we? I got rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna give myself another. That's fine. I was just saying if there's some way you can tell me what the error that you're getting is. If you hit F1 to bring up the console, it should show you, you know, wasn't able to drag this, or slot missing, or it should say something. Then I can look into that too. It's not doing it for me though, which is always unfortunate. So now I'm gonna put a carrot and some iron in this bag I've got, and I'm gonna kill myself. And the cave should despawn almost immediately, as it did, and we'll go back to it. And now the bag works. And let's see if it's got its stuff in it. So bags should work now in caves. That was my bad. That was not set up properly. Fixed bags in tombstones. Fixed bags not dropping into tombstones in caves properly. Not, oops, what did I, whoa. Fixed bags not dropping properly into tombstones while in caves. Let's see. Let's give it a try in the game itself. Maybe that's acting different, as it does sometimes. See if I can see the error myself. It's coming right for us. He's not doing his walk animation though, is he? I guess he is. Let's see. Why don't I have anything? Did I pick the wrong guy? It's a little weird. Whatever. Let's do... Alright. Gave myself a bag and some veggies. I'm gonna just split these up a little bit. Put some veggies like that. And I'm gonna kill myself. Like so. Cool, thank you. Let's see real quick if I get the same thing. Bag didn't work as expected, and this guy, yeah, oh, that's not nice. Main UI right click slot. Interesting. Okay, let's do clear that and then right click and nothing happens. That's no good. And then this throws 3 warnings. And I need to fix the console going out. I keep forgetting about that. Inventory slot not found. Huh. And you put a screenshot up for me for that. You say... Cool. Inventory slot not found. 0. That doesn't make any sense. Inventory slot not found. Inventory slot not found. Null reference exception. Okay. Doesn't do that in the editor. But, sure. Let's see. Just real quick, I'm gonna peek at the main UI. Oh boy. Death Stranding Cyberpunk 2077 update? What is that? I don't know. I don't care. Stardew Valley version 1.5. Wonder what that is. Just real quick, I want to look at the console's its own thing actually. Console canvas. This is the console manager UI. Where's the scroll rect? You're the mask, scroll rect, mask. How come you're not masking this stuff. I think it should be a rect 2D mask is what we're looking for here. That should work better anyway. Okay. Oh, they just added cosmetics in. I have not played Death Stranding. I don't really even know what that game is. Looks kind of like an adventure game. I'm enjoying Cyberpunk, though, I gotta say. It's disappointing to see all the tough news that they're getting for PlayStation and Xbox stuff, because the PC version works great, and it's a lot of fun. But sounds like they said some stuff they probably shouldn't have said, and probably blamed their marketing departments, not the developers. So never heard that story before. You're good now. It's not your problem. It's not your problem. It's might be your problem. What did we do with... Any reason to leave this open? I don't think so. Terrain manager, we fixed that. Global methods, we were doing get biome. We did want to double check that. I'm going to leave these open, but we're looking at main UI dragging is throwing errors for some reason. And why is it not doing it in the editor when it is doing it in game? I didn't change anything since the last patch specifically related to that. Yeah, Cyberpunk's pretty cool. I mean, there's definitely some minor bugs with it, like I've had some graphical things, or like just minor cosmetic problems. I haven't had it. I did have once, like I had to quit out and reload because I got stuck in some funky mode or something, but it's a really cool game, unless you're just have outlandish exceptions for some reason that I don't understand. Like people are like, it's not as good as Grand Theft Auto. It's like, so what? Who cares? It's not Grand Theft Auto, It's its own game. But I think it's a really great game. The atmosphere is really cool. Main UI has not been touched. There are sometimes some serialization issues that differ between the editor and the player, standalone player. Inventory slot not found. Is that main UI? Inventory slot? Nope. I believe that is under the item slot itself. Inventory slot. Find. Not found. No? Not found. Where is that? Inventory slot, main UI, find, not found. Not here. That might be one of those language deals. I'm pretty sure it's here. So you right click didn't do anything first of all, which is a problem. Inventory slot, right click. Right click. Right click. There we go. Case. Interactable. We probably just don't even have a case set up for Tombstone, do we? Nope. In the event of a Tombstone You know, and it would be nice to, there's no way to do something like this, is there? Inventory slot type dot tombstone. Well, that's not a slot type. You can't do this, though, for cases, can you? Yeah, you can't do that. That'd be nice if you could, though. You can have them fall through, I know, but... facilities are interactable, so we should be right-clicking on an interactable right-click, and you're going straight to the player inventory. This just wasn't even working for some reason. We'll just add those debugs for now, make sure that's getting called. The other error is, what was actually throwing the errors is drag. Select slot. If dragging, toggle drag and drop. Current slot does not equal slot type, not number. It's a different slot. It's not on the blah blah blah. Attempt swap. Was that prior to? No, we were able to drag it. We weren't able to click it. So yeah, attempt swap. We are the server, so it's going to go straight to here. And this is where we were getting the problem. Inventory slot not found. Interface. Swap slots. Which goes back to inventory slot. Requesting slot. Get inventory slot reference. Let's turn these guys back on. And this is where we find, I believe, inventory slot not found. That's the one I was looking for. So we should be telling it that we're looking for inventory. It goes to inventory slots and it's gonna look through there. And it's going to get the slot number, and it's going to return it. No slots provided. A check didn't trigger, did it? Better just run it with these. Let's see, hold on a sec. There's a lot of stuff that goes through here. Attempt swap. Find all references. This first gets called by command swap slots. Player inventory. If is server attempt swap. This is where it starts in the main UI when we've this guy. Toggle drag and drop. So this is on the client. We're going straight to the inventory and telling it to attempt swap. That's good. We're now on the client inventory. We're single player, so we are the server. It jumps straight to here. And we're not feeding it the client or anything. Slot 1, slot 2. Get inventory slot reference. These are breaking right away somehow. Attempt swap. So let's do that as well. This is where we're getting the problem. Let's set a debug here just to be safe, because I think I'm going to have to build this to really debug it. Debug get inventory slot reference plus slot type plus slot number, and okay, let's let that compile. Yeah, it sounds like they said blatantly that it was going to run great on PlayStation 4, when in fact it's running like crap on PlayStation 4. So, you know, you just can't say stuff like that. And the bummer with that is really that, you know, it's none of the developers would ever say that. Like, and by developer, I mean the people that are doing the coding and, you know, the 3D artwork and stuff. You ask any of those guys and they'd say, like, I don't know, I haven't played it on PlayStation 4. You know, but the marketing guys, they're always like, yeah, everything's awesome, it's totally great, it's revolutionary, it's the best game ever, give us your money. You know, and then they get in hot water, and then the whole company gets sued, and, you know, it just affects everybody because the dumb marketing people. Yeah. Well, and, you know, if money's all that you care about, that's what you would do. Of course, you know, just lie. Don't double check your facts. Just say, hey, pre-order, give us some more money. Don't worry about a thing. And that's, you know, that's kind of the whole point of marketing. So it's a nasty system when you get that whole department that they're just. Yeah, the developers are rarely the people to blame. They're the underpaid heroes that are actually making the game. Sweating bullets. Putting, you know, they're not the ones that make the schedules. It's management that says, you don't need to sleep. Well, they're refunding a lot of those now, though, is the thing. I mean, they probably made a ton of money with the pre-orders, but now they're being forced to give refunds to. Like, I read that they even pulled it from the PlayStation store. Like, you can't buy it for PlayStation anymore because it's just so bad. And I don't have a PlayStation myself. I don't have any interest in console games personally. But pre-order or not, I think they're having to give a lot of that money back, which is less a big of a deal, as it just really hurts your reputation, you know. Oh yeah, that's 100% proven. The less you sleep, the worse you do. Doctors that don't get enough sleep kill patients. I mean, that's proven. It's really gross. But they still make them work 14-hour shifts and stuff. But, like I say, giving the money back is fine, because most of those people are going to buy the game as soon as it works. You know, it's not that they don't want to play the game. It's that they're pissed off that the company said stuff that they shouldn't have. And if the game works really good in another 3 months after patches, they'll buy the game again and they'll get the money eventually. And that's fine, but now there's a lot of people that think that they're scum because they lied and misled people into doing the pre-order, so it's just a silly way of doing stuff. So I added a bunch of debugs. Hopefully let's see, the console shouldn't be scrolling out of its box anymore, for one thing. I fixed the error going into caves. Bags should drop properly. I don't have any bags. I'm going to cheat myself some bags and some carrots. Whoops. Yeah, there's a really cool YouTube video about how they just sucked up their mistake and really just fought through it. And it was really cool the way that the guy that made the video put it together about how they took one of the lead developers and made him the spokesperson. And he didn't have any experience talking in front of crowds. He didn't have any interest in marketing. And, they just would feed him cards to go and tell people stuff. Go and say this. And, kind of lied about some things. And, okay, so this is a broken tombstone that's, well, it did have my carrots in it. Anyway. They made a bunch of mistakes, and they got really flamed for it, and almost got sued for it, and this and that. And then they said, sorry, and then they made the game better and better and better and better and better and better, and now it's got a really good rating. It's a great game. So they made a mistake, they admitted it, and they moved on. They fixed their mistake. So I'm confident that Cyberpunk will do the same thing. It's just a bummer that they would do stuff like that in the first place. That anyone in their company would do it. I'm sure that 80, 85, 90% of their company didn't want to say any of the stuff that they said that was incriminating, but No Man's Sky, they did make some mistakes. Like they said flat out, it's multiplayer. There was one guy on their team that said it's multiplayer, and it's not. And now it is. But back in the day, and they showed footage of things that aren't in game. Things that you can't do. And so then when they sold the game, and then all of that stuff you couldn't do, people were trying to sue them for false advertising because it's like you showed us stuff that you can't do. You told us things that don't exist. And so they got really flamed, and they had like a 28% rating or something like that, But it's back up to 80 something now, I think. So, it's a cool to show that you can survive the wrath of angry gamers, even if they shouldn't have said that stuff in the first place. Beats the crap out of all the games that get just abandoned and left out to dry. So I've already got a bag on me, and I just did right click on all of that stuff again, didn't I? Hold on. Let me just die again. And it missed. I love it when it does that. I console hit myself for 6,000 and then it misses. And so we're in the standalone single player build where you were getting the errors and I confirmed them. And now I died with a new tombstone, which is patched up now on my end, so that I should be able to. You're gonna come? Yeah, I know you're upset. So the bags work now. I'm I'm going to click and drag, and that is working now. So I'm going to have to say that it was this loading method where this a saved tombstone generates these slots was not being done properly. And I fixed that with this new patch. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Should be all good now. Both bags and clicking and dragging. And I will second one probably didn't have a bag in it, did it? You need a case. That should be all good to go once I patch this stuff in later today. Yeah, thanks for finding that and bringing it up. Like I say, don't you're not interrupting me. That's what I'm here trying to do, make it work. So very much appreciate that. And now I'm gonna double check that the biome stuff that I updated working properly or not. What's up with this fog? That's cool, but looks like Enviro didn't turn off properly. Yeah, Enviro's still on. Interesting, interesting. The reason for that being... I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. I changed... Yeah, we want to turn all of these off again. Turn you off. Didn't change you. Turn you off. And you as well. And you as well. Yeah, that should be good. Terrain manager I changed so that when we turn off surface world, we now set this to be true. Turn off enviro equals true. That's probably not enough. Players, clan equals clan. Didn't do it down here. Even though let me look at this how it was before I turned it off. $322. was where we just deleted those, huh? And 358, I just added this. If we're not in multiplayer host, which we aren't, so we need this here for single player, that's fine. Why though? Alright. If we're not multiplayer host and client equals client, otherwise client's going to do it itself when this gets called, which should be fine. Don't want to open you. Let's just recompile and look at that once more. Anyway, what was I doing? Terrain biome check. Will items be recoverable from exiting Tombstone after update? If you have interacted with them to the point that they disappear, oh, still getting fog. That's funky. Then they're probably gone. But if they're still there, I think they have the data on them. They're just not loading the data properly. So I think they'll still work. Containers are sold differently, like this. There's inventory slots, and then there's container slots. And it just wasn't adding the container slots to the interface where you're trying to grab stuff out of the tombstone. But the data was there. It was saving them properly. It just wasn't loading them properly. So I think it'll still work as long as it hasn't overwritten them due to interaction. So hopefully it should be fine. This is just not doing what I want it to for some reason. All that I changed though was for this to happen a frame later. And this wasn't doing it in the first place. And it didn't improve that by adding that, so I'm going to get rid of that again. And let's see what happens if I, just to double check, this is in fact our problem, yes? The cave actually doesn't look too bad with a little bit of fog. Caves are so dark. But, you know, it's a cave. I want to get ice caves going and water caves going. But we got some bugs to fix today. We'll get into hopefully finishing up the procedural dungeon tomorrow. And then maybe Thursday we can move on to making like a fire plane. Okay, so that did fix it. Why does a frame, waiting a single frame, bother that? That's funny. Turn off surface world. Well, okay, so let's say we don't do this, and you know what we do instead? We say turn off surface world equals false, and if turn off surface world is true, then we churn off surface world. And I have to give that a client, don't I? Shoot. It's a little dangerous. The white foggy cave. What's the matter, you? You've already got one called that? Whoops. Yeah. So this is going to be here, and then we're going to add churn off service world dot add client, like so. And then the next frame, it's going to look for one of those. Yeah, ice caves will be lit up. Definitely. And we could brighten. I mean, it's kind of neat how you can see shiny gems. But that honestly, that didn't look too bad, really. Maybe we should, because it's kind of a pain when you're like squinting, you know, you can't see. In the dark. I know some people just ram their contrast up to, or their gamma up whenever they go in a cave because they don't like that, which is, you know, that's just not nice to make people do that. Did I click play? Play? Right, it's doing what we want it to do, or like it used to, and without throwing the error. But what happens if we... yeah, you're gonna be a butt. And then of course the weather changed as soon as I turned it on. Is that what's going on here? The fog's getting all funky. And I'm just gonna turn you back off, but the fog stuck around. That's what's going on here, isn't it? Yeah, that doesn't really, can't say that that's terrible, honestly. You know, it used to be more like this. So it would be just black. And that is kind of spooky looking, I guess, but that honestly is not too bad, is it? Get a little bit of fog going in there. Does make it a little easier to see too. And we can of course turn that up as much as we want. That doesn't look horrible either, really. Maybe it's a little bright, but it's kind of nice looking bright, honestly. Could look a little bluish, could look a little more greenish. Go with the mushrooms. This kind of plays into my whole, whoops, I canceled it, sort of belief that the game's too realistic right now. I want to add a lot more fantasy, you know. It's not, we need more fantastic. I like this actually, honestly. It's brighter. Just say that the mushrooms in general are sort of lighting this all up more. What do you think? It's a lot brighter. How did that guy get up there? Who? I kind of like that, to be honest. I don't really like the when it's too dark and you can't make stuff out. That just plain gets set right here. Background color, far clip plane. Fog equals true exponential. Let's do linear 500. Fog in distance equals 500, and the color is going to be, I don't think there's transparency, doesn't do anything. Point, let's see, how can we plug that in? 0.48. Whoops. 0.73, 0.78. And if the fog end distance is going to be 500, we could churn that down, but not a big deal. And make sure we're doing that in both places. Let's let that compile and see how it looks. What do you think of brighter fog cave art? Brighter cave fog. I think that it's just kind of nicer than not being able to see. I hate it when it's too dark. Let's just make sure that everything... Oh, it's working as expected. I'm curious how that tombstone got up there. I don't have anything to build with. That's ore. Give me some rock. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Obstructed. Can't build in the entrance. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that yet, I'm afraid. I was just trying to look at something and got distracted. So, we've got grass here, grass there. Let's see, let's go to one of these swamp. I know these guys are all like right on the water. And I mean, honestly, I changed the math, so it really shouldn't even need checking. I think this is the one. Yeah. Wish I could hover over and see the names of these, like we say. Not too sure. The vertical towers can use the same system, but they, you know, maybe we could get them to use the stairwells though, or at least not use the ladders, because that's like the main problem. And we could make the doors bigger too, like we did with the procedural dungeons, so stuff can get through them. I just kind of want to check on these. Let's see, 1, 2, let's say 3 by 3, which is southwest. Yeah, kind of one of the things that I've always wanted to do with the vertical towers is... Man, my graphics card is going nuts. Does not like it when I've got all these windows open. I've got a really stupid graphics card. It'll overheat and just shut the whole system down rather than slow down for half a second. Yeah, my wife's in the kitchen. Don't go in there. It's gonna be a mess in about 2 minutes. Yeah, I can just be testing this in here. Start single. I hope not, because I kind of had something I wanted to make. But she probably is, and that's great. I will eat it. Let's go over here. My wife is pretty clingy, which is fine with me, but she likes to do things together and make sure we have the same type of cell phone and some weird stuff like that. Just, I couldn't care less either way, so sure. I do like some foods. We do have some foods that like I like that she doesn't, or she does and I don't. But we tend to eat at the same time, at least. Even if we make different foods for lunch. Yeah, I make 90% of the food here too. I was a cook for like all of my 20s. So I can make pretty much anything. And I enjoy it. I don't mind making food at all, so I usually am the one that cooks for both of us, but she doesn't have work today. And so she feels obligated to make something for me if I'm working sometimes. It was pretty funny when we'd only been married for like 2 years or something, and like that kind of happened. Kind of like she made dinner for some reason or another just because she felt bad, and it turned out really bad. Like it was just not very good. So she started crying because she was like, every time you make it, it's better. I'm a terrible wife. It was funny. That was a long time ago, though. We've been married, I think, almost 7 years now. This says Badlands, as expected. And they're set to double check. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just close that one because it should be good. It should be good. They are set to double check if it's ocean. And it'll do that using the new method, so That's like the main issue when somebody's built one. Well, let's open it here, yeah. Yeah, where someone's built it somewhere right on the water, and it scans the area and it finds more water than it does whatever biome they're in. So now it'll actually do it at that point instead. So, right, resolve fixed 0.7.0.9. They were using different methods. The town UI was rounding the area for something like 80 meters squared. They both will now use just the immediate 1 point check. Immediate, is that how you spell that? Yeah. Planters destroyed upon pickup. 7.0.4. Planters picked up, they seem not to be added individually to the planters and seeds planted in the past. Also, non-fully grown crops and planters can be destroyed. Others removed. This recommendation that there was an exception. I'm assuming that this is multiplayer, but let's give it a quick try in single player. Yeah, I mean, it's never gross, you know, even if she messes up. Like, the first time she had me over to her apartment, this is back in, like, 2012, when we lived in a different prefecture and all of that. And she lived by herself and didn't know how to cook and didn't have any reason to. She made me, like, it was like a cream stew or something. You know, and when it gets too thick, if it's too hot, the bottom will burn, you know, because there's just not enough, you know, when it's a soup, the hot liquid will just rise to the top. But when it gets to that thick stew stage, if it's too hot, the bottom will start to burn. And so she did that, and she served it to me, and I didn't say anything until, you know, we were married and like 3 years later or something, but it was really gross. That's probably the only food that she's actually ever made me that was gross. But yeah, that was like my first time over to her place, so I was not about to say, wow, this is gross. But yeah, I can write Japanese, hiragana, katakana, and kanji. I'm not good at kanji. You don't use it in your daily life, really, to be honest. Like, I went to a chiropractor yesterday, so I wrote my address, and I can write my address in kanji. And I can perfectly write hiragana and katakana just fine. I started learning Japanese when I was 14, and I'm 37 now, so I've been using Japanese pretty much every day for 23 years now. And I've actually lived in Japan for over 10 years now, so yeah, starting to smell good. I don't know what she's cooking, but throw some garlic in, I will eat it. I have some planters here, I believe. And let's go to bed. I got a bed here. Do I? No, this is the multiplayer server. There's no beds. Anyway. Pick up works fine, and I got it here. So that's gotta be multiplayer. Let's just check it. Well, I actually gotta get to lunch. She's cooking up a storm. I'll go make sure she hasn't set anything on fire. I'm just kidding. I love her. And I will get to looking at towers for you, Art. That's one of my tabs open here after I go through some things. I'm just going to do bugs today and put a patch out, and then we'll get back to the dungeon tomorrow. But going to go grab myself some lunch and maybe some sun and a little stretch. And I wish I had a cola or something, but I don't. Trying to be all healthy. Yeah, I'll be back in an hour. What are you saying? As a reviewer. Oh, this wasn't you. This was... Oh, yeah, I better get into the kitchen. This is you, Stuart? Is Art, is Lucian. Man, you confusing. But okay. You're not Frank, you're Stuart. Okay, I got it. Should I call you Stuart or should I call you Art? Or should I call you Lucian? I don't know. I'm going to end the stream. I'll be back in an hour. Hope you guys